Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We have an exciting journey ahead where we will dive into some really important concepts in machine learning and probability. Here's what we are going to cover. First, we will start with Naive Bayes, a very popular probabilistic classifier that's simple yet powerful. Then, we will connect it to a real world case, airport security, and Bayes' theorem to see how these ideas apply in daily life. After that, we will move on to the confusion matrix, which helps us evaluate how well our model is performing. Before jumping into Bayes' theorem directly, we will take a quick prelude so the foundation is clear. Then we will explore a few examples to strengthen our understanding. And finally, we will wrap up with a very practical case and email example where Bayes' theorem plays a big role in spam detection. So stay tuned till the end because by the time we finish, you will not only understand Bayes' theorem but also know how it powers real-world applications like email filtering and airport security checks. Let's get started. Alright, let's begin with Naive Bayes, a probabilistic classifier. Naive Bayes is a classification algorithm that works completely on the concept of probability. What it does is simple. For any given input, it predicts the likelihood of each possible class. For example, if we're trying to decide whether an email is spam or not, Naive Bayes doesn't just say spam or not spam. Instead, it gives us a probability score between 0 and 1. If the score is close to 1, that means the model is more confident. If it's close to 0, that means it's less confident. Now, why it is called naive? Because it makes a very strong assumption. It assumes that all the features are independent of each other, even though in reality that may not always be true. This assumption makes the math simpler, and surprisingly, it still works really well in many situations. Let's take a real world example to understand this better. Think about the spam filter in your email. If an email has words like free, win, lottery, the probability of it being spam is much higher. On the other hand, if the email has words like meeting, project, report, then the probability of it being spam is much lower. So the model might say something like probability 0.9 very high chance of spam, probability 0.1 very low chance of spam. And based on these probabilities, the email gets classified. That's the basic idea of Naive Bayes. It uses probability to classify things in a very simple but effective way. Now let's understand Bayes' theorem with a very practical scenario, airport security. Imagine an airport installs a new scanner to detect if passengers are carrying prohibited items. This scanner is very good. It's 98% accurate. That means it usually catches guilty people and usually clears innocent ones. But here's the catch. Only 1 out of 1000 passengers actually carries a prohibited item. So the problem is very rare. Now suppose a passenger is flagged as positive by the scanner. The big question is, what is the chance this person is really guilty? Let's break it down step by step. Out of 1000 passengers, only 1 is guilty and 999 are innocent. The scanner works like this. For guilty passengers, it catches about 98% of them. For innocent passengers, it still makes mistakes 2% of the time, flagging them as guilty even though they are clean. So in a group of 1000 passengers, the one guilty person is almost always flagged positive. But among the 999 innocent passengers, about 20 people will also be wrongly flagged as positive because of that 2% error. Now let's total this up. True positives 1, false positives 20. So overall 21 passengers are flagged positive. But here's the shocking part. Out of those 21, only 1 is truly guilty. That means the actual probability that a flagged passenger is guilty is only 1 out of 21 or about 5%, even though the scanner is 98% accurate. The result is not that reliable because the event carrying prohibited items is so rare. And this is exactly what Bayes' theorems teach us. Accuracy alone can be misleading. We always need to consider the base rate or how common the event really is before trusting the result. Now let's understand the results with the help of a confusion matrix. A confusion matrix is just a table that compares what the scanner predicted with what is actually true. Here's what it looks like for our airport example with 1000 passengers. True positives 1. These are the guilty passengers who were correctly flagged by the scanner. False negatives 0. These are guilty passengers who somehow slipped through undetected. False positives 20. These are innocent passengers who got wrongly flagged as suspicious. True negatives 979. These are innocent passengers who were correctly cleared. So in total, we had about 1 true positive and 20 false positives. Now, if a passenger is flagged positive, the chance that they are actually guilty is 4.76%. That's less than 5%. The key takeaway is even if the scanner is 98% accurate, when the actual event is rare, most of the positives can still be false alarms. This confusion matrix makes it crystal clear where the mistakes are happening and why Bayes' theorem is important for interpreting results correctly. Before we jump into Bayes' theorem itself, let's quickly understand the basic idea behind it. Bayes' theorem is all about updating probabilities when new evidence appears. Think of it like this. First, we start with a prior, our initial belief about something before we have any extra information. Then we get some evidence, a new piece of information or observation. Finally, we update our belief and that becomes the posterior, the new, more accurate probability. So the flow is simple: prior, evidence, posterior. For example, suppose you believe there is a small chance it will rain today. That's your prior belief. Then you look outside and see dark clouds. That's the evidence. After considering the clouds, you can now believe the chance of rain is much higher. That's your posterior. And that's the heart of Bayes' theorem. It helps us adjust our beliefs whenever new evidence comes in. Let's look at some simple examples to really understand how Bayes' theorem works in daily life. Example 1. Movie recommendation. Suppose the chance that you will like a random movie is about 30%. That's your prior belief. Now you find out movie is sci-fi, which happens to be your favorite genre. That's new evidence. So your belief updates and the probability you will enjoy it jumps up to 70%. That's the posterior. Example 2. Airport security check. Normally only 0.1% of passengers carry prohibited items. That's the prior. But if a passenger is flagged by the scanner, that's the new evidence. After updating, the chance they are guilty rises to about 5%, still small but much higher than before. Example 3. Guessing an animal. At first, the probability that a random animal is a dog is very small. Then you hear clue 1, it's a pet. That increases the chance. Next clue, it has wings. Suddenly the chance drops to 0. Notice how each piece of evidence updates our belief. That's Bayes' theorem in action. So why does this matter? Because Bayes' theorem is the formal way of updating beliefs with new evidence. It is used everywhere, in medicine, spam filters, fraud detection, recommendation systems, and of course in the Naive-Bayes classifier we studied earlier. The key insight is simple: always think in 3 steps: prior, evidence, posterior. It shows us how new information can completely change the probabilities we believe in. Now let's see how Naive-Bayes can be used in fraud detection for credit card transactions. Step 1. Prior probability. From past records, out of 10,000 transactions, about 100 are fraud and 9900 are legitimate. So before seeing any details, the chance of fraud is just 1%. That's our prior belief. Evidence. Now imagine a new transaction comes in and it's so very large, say more than $10,000. Looking at past data, 40% of fraud cases are large, but only 2% of legitimate cases are large. So a large transaction is much more suspicious. Step 3. Posterior probability. If we calculate fraud and large is 40 transactions, legitimate and large 198 transactions, so total large transaction is 238. Now the probability that a large transaction is actually fraud is probability fraud and large is equals 60.8%. See the difference. The prior probability was only 1%, but after the evidence of a large amount, it jumps to almost 70%. Key insight. Naive-Bayes helps banks spot suspicious transactions by using patterns in the data. It works just like spam detection, starting with a prior, adding evidence and updating it to a posterior for better predictions. And that's bring us to the end of today's session. We started with the basics of Naive-Bayes, explored real-life scenarios like spam filtering, airport security checks, and fraud detection, and saw how Bayes' theorem helps us update our beliefs when new evidence comes in. The key takeaway is simple: prior, evidence, posterior. That's the heart of Bayes' theorem, and it powers so many real-world applications. I hope this session made the concept clear and easy to understand. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe to stay connected for more such lessons. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and stay curious. Bye-bye.